Hey y'all, hope you're having a great day. This is Nicole from Mochkin the Making, and I'm here today to share with you our latest project. Now, if you've been following us for a while, you can see that I'm not in my normal workspace. A lot of times I like to work from my upstairs craft room, but today I'm on the back porch, and that's because we're about to do a wood project. Now, about 4.5 years ago in 2016, my husband and I did a similar wood project that was just a lot bigger than what this one's going to be. But it was a reversible scarecrow snowman, which we started calling the Snow Crow because we like not having to say that mouthful of reversible scarecrow snowman. But anyway, today I took some scraps from the scrap pile where my husband has been making things that I don't know anything about, and I decided that we're going to try to make, since it's more the time of the year for leprechauns and Easter bunnies, we're going to do a reversible leprechaun bunny. And I'm going to show you how to put this together in just a few minutes out of just a few scrap pieces of wood. And I also want to ask you a favor for me. If you like these videos and you don't want to miss anything, I would love it if you would hit like and subscribe so that you don't miss anything that we do from here on out. The Scarecrow Snowman that we made a few years ago was one of our most popular pins on Pinterest that we've ever had, and to this day it still gets a bunch of daily pins. So I hope you're going to like this project, and I'll be back in just a second to show you how we put it together. Okay, so here I am back to show you how we put these 5 just pieces of wood that are similar in length and width. They're not perfectly all the same or anything like that, but as you can see, I've already stapled one together. Now it takes a little bit of practice sometimes to get that lined up right in the crack, but that's what you want to do. Just put the little bit of your staple gun just right in the crack of the wood, and that's going to let you get it centered over the crack. And we're just going to repeat that on the next few pieces, and I'm just doing this just to be honest because it's the easiest way. Now I am sure my husband would get out the drill or whatever, and I'm not saying that I couldn't do that, but I don't want to, at least not for this project. So, you know, there's usually, if you think about it hard enough, an easier way to do things. And that's what we're doing here. We're trying to get this project together as easy as we can. So just each little area, we're just going to pop a staple. Well, that one didn't do, but we're going to keep on going. There, that one did it. And when they don't, you can just pry them out with a, just be careful, don't get a screwdriver in your hand. And I'm going to take that in a few minutes and just pull it out with a pair of pliers. You can do that. I hope you can kind of see how this is going along, but anyway, you just keep on finding the crack and staple them together. And it kind of looks not so cute now with the staples showing, but we're gonna paint over all this, and I think it's just gonna be fine. What I'm about to do in a minute is flip it over, repeat the process on the back side, and then I'll be back to show you how we're gonna attach the hat brim, and then we'll paint it. So I'll be right back. Okay, for this next part, you're going to need your hammer and some nails. And the nails, you're going to want them to not be too awful much longer than the thickness of your top and bottom board. But if it's a little bit, it's okay, because we can lay those over with the hammer. Woodshop teachers, I hope you're not watching, because I am definitely not an expert. But we're just going to pound this in right quick. I've got my little pink hammer. And then we're going to do it on the other side. I am so sorry for the noise. I know that is terrible. Okay, and seeing as how I have kind of nailed it to the wood bench, I knew that was going to happen, but I didn't know it was going to be on quite that securely. So we're just going to pull it up with the claw part of the hammer. Not a problem. Maybe. I hope. Oh dear. There we go. I'm popping some of my staples, so maybe if you have them, some shorter nails might be a good thing. There we go. Like I said, I hope there are no wood shop teachers watching this or any experts. This is not your husband's wood shop. And as always, if nothing else, I hope you're getting a good laugh out of this. And if you're not all about the hammers and the nails and the staples, I think you could probably glue these first strips together with some wood glue, and then maybe just embellish with a piece of jute twine or something around the bottom just to make it a little more secure. There are things that you can definitely do that don't require a lot of, but look, I'm just making a double brim on this hat because I want the bunny to have just as cute of a brim as the leprechaun did. And I'm not going to put you through the pounding of the nail again, but I'm just going to repeat that process with the hat brim, and then we'll be to the fun part when it's time to paint it. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so it was getting cold out on the back porch, and all my paint was upstairs anyway, so I'm back upstairs in the craft room and getting ready to paint our leprechaun bunny. So I'm going to just adjust the camera right quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for Bunny's face, I'm going to paint that white, and I left my palette downstairs, so I store some brushes in these popcorn cans, so I'll just use that for a palette. But anyway, Bunny's face is going to be white, and his hat is going to be purple, but you can make it any way you want to. I might even add some more colors just to brighten up the hat after, but we're also going to make Bunny some little ears coming up out of his hat. And I haven't decided yet. I thought about doing this both ways, doing one side maybe hand painted and the other maybe to make a nice SVG file that you could use to cut if you have a Cricut. The ones that we made previously with the snowman scarecrow or snow crow man, we did hand paint all of that, but since I am really loving doing the SVG files, that might be an option too. But this is just going to look real rustic, especially with the little staples and everything. So I'm not even attempting to really cover completely. I'm just kind of giving it a nice little whitewashed finish, and that's also going to make, if we do decide to hand paint the face, this first layer is going to make the the detailing flow a little more smoothly, just to have that layer of paint over the rough surface, because this is just reclaimed wood. You could use really whatever kind of wood you wanted. You could get some smooth boards at Lowe's or whatever. You could also probably just buy a little sign at Walmart, and just maybe the hat brim could even be like even a stir stick or something like that. This, I'm pretty sure, is just some reclaimed wooden fence boards. My brother is he owns a fence company, and sometimes we get the benefit of some of the reclaimed wood that he gets from there. So just gonna paint Bunny's hat right quick. This is kind of a pretty vivid purple. I like that for Easter. Let's see, the name of it is, well, I'm not sure, but it's just an acrylic paint from Apple Barrel, just some really inexpensive paint there. But anyway, just whatever colors suit you. It's gonna work perfect, I know. So let's just get the finishing touches on Bunny's little hat. And like I said, we'll be making him some ears in just a little bit, and that'll be cute. Might, like I said, do the SVG file, but I'm just not sure yet what I want to do with that. Sometimes half the fun is painting the face and coming up with your own little, you know, when you paint the face, you can give it its own little personality. Now, that has gone real well for me sometimes not. I remember last year when I was trying to learn how to paint cows, all my cows looked really angry. Like, I guess, is that what they mean by mad cows? I don't know. But yeah, all my cows were really angry, maybe even hostile looking. So this paint is a little bit clumpy. There is no telling how long I've had it, but I think still we're gonna be able to make it work, because we don't need that much of it. And then after this has had just a couple minutes to dry, we can flip it over and do Mr. Leprechaun's face while this finishes drying, and then we could come back and do the rest on Mr. Easter Bunny. So yeah, sometimes these little foam brushes get pretty worn out real quick, but I'm just gonna do just a little bit of a under layer right there. Doesn't have to be perfect, and then we'll come back in just a second and we will do the face for the leprechaun. Okay, before I get started on the leprechaun side, I did want to tell you I finally found the name of the color of this purple paint. It's called Purple Iris. It is from Apple Barrel. I believe you can find these at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, or just pretty much wherever, probably Michael's, anywhere they sell paints. So anyway, for the leprechaun's face, I wanted to make him kind of a nice tan color, and so I chose this color. Just, it's called Khaki, and it is also by Apple Barrel. So just gonna do just a little light coat, just like I did on the other side for Mr. Easter Bunny. Mr. Leprechaun, he is gonna have a beard, and I don't know, maybe even a pipe, we'll see. But just want to put a little bit of a nice base coat for whatever. So whether we hand paint or do SVGs, I think this coat's gonna help. Plus, it, you know, painting this wood makes it easier for whatever else you put on there to show up a little bit more. So I'm gonna get him finished up, and then the hat, I debated on that. I almost did the hat black and did a shamrock in it, but I think I want to do the hat green just to give him a good, nice pop of color. I'm getting this on my desk. I'm trying not to, but this desk has seen better days. The first time I put ink in my ink cartridges for my sublimation printer, if you've watched a lot, you might know that I converted a sublimation printer because I didn't want to shell out the money to buy a pre-made one. But anyway, the first time I put ink in my cartridges, I got it all over the desk. The red ink went everywhere. So anyway, I'm gonna lay these to the side for right now. They're probably about done for, and then I'm just gonna go in with the green and make Mr. Leprechaun a nice leprechaun-y hat. So these sponge brushes might not have been the best choice for this particular project since the wood is a little bit rough, but I just kind of like the way they hold the paint and the way they do. But just regular bristle brushes would be fine too. You can find the sponge ones though really cheap. I think I've even seen a pack somewhere for like maybe 99 cents. So they're really, really reasonable. Not that most of the little bristle brushes that I use are that expensive, but they are a little bit more than these foam brushes. Now my watercolor brushes, they did cost a little more, but they don't see a lot of wear and tear either, because usually when I'm doing watercolors, it's just on a nice smooth surface that, you know, they're gonna last me for years. These little foam brushes are usually just one time wonders, I guess you could say. But anyhow, just want to get enough of that on there to cover the top and just make it cover all of our little imperfections and everything. Like I said, it's gonna be real rustic. Y'all see how I just keep having to add paint? I thought I had enough, but apparently not. I didn't want to waste any, but I just can't seem to get enough. This wood seems to be just really soaking it up. So anyway, got Mr. Leprechaun's hat just about done, and I'm going to hold it up and kind of show you his side and then flip it and show you the bunny side, and then next step we'll be ready to do the face for each of them. So hope you can see that. Don't want to get it on my shirt, but anyway, there he is. And I'll flip it and you can see the bunny side too. All right, and so we'll be back in a few to do the faces. Hey y'all, I'm up here getting ready to paint Bunny. It's actually the day after I started the project. I kind of ran out of steam, and so I'm back today to do my painting. I was still deliberating on whether to do an SVG cut file or to hand paint the features on the bunny and the leprechaun, but I was having quite a bit of difficulty, to be honest, with the SVG file. I'm still learning, and sometimes it takes me a while to get things right, and so I was not able to make the SVG cut file for this project that I wanted to. So instead, I'm going to show you how I set up for the painting by just taking some colored pencils and just some paint pens and getting ready to paint it so that I wouldn't get to talking and forget what I was doing and mess up. So I'm just going to hand paint the eyes and mouth and everything like that on this project, and then later hopefully I'll be able to figure out what I'm doing wrong with creating the SVG file, and I will insert it into the post later. So if you want to check back later to see if I have that, maybe by that time I will. And so let's get started with painting Bunny's face. Okay, so first I took a chalk marker and outlined the rough shape of what I wanted Bunny's ears to look like, and then I was gonna paint his eyes with a paint pen, and then turns out my paint pen was dried out, and so I just kind of made a little outline of what I want him to look like, and then I filled in that nose. Is really hard to see. It was just done with a pink colored pencil. I'm trying to help myself out here because I'm a little bit ADD and I want to remember what colors that I was going to paint these things. And then just did his whiskers and mouth in pencil, and I may end up giving him a little bit of a bow tie or something down at the bottom. But first I'm just going to use my guides that I already have, and I'm going to paint Bunny's ears. So what I'm thinking I'm probably going to do is do the outsides of the ears white and the insides pink, just your traditional looking Easter bunny. And I'm squirting out quite a bit of paint this time because last night I kept running out, and that's no fun. We don't want to do that again. So I did forget to bring my palette or a styrofoam plate or anything up here again today. It's been a long day, y'all. Monday back at work is always rough, but anyway, we're just gonna make do with the top of this popcorn tin and fill in Bunny's little ears. We have a lot of real bunnies in our backyard right now. I just love watching them hop around, and they're so cute. Last year when we were kind of out for the quarantine and schools were shut down and I was home, I actually got a chance to watch two of them jumping over each other and doing a little dance, which I later we looked it up online and discovered that it was like a little rabbit mating dance. It was pretty cool. I've lived all these years without ever knowing that rabbits did mating dances, but these did. Why am I talking about that? I couldn't tell you. But anyway, let's finish up this little bunny's ears. He probably didn't need to hear that either, did he? Bless him. Little innocent bunny, and we're talking about mating dances. But anyhow, y'all, if you don't know already, I get goofy. The more tired that I get, the goofier I get. So that's what's going on here. I'm not high. I don't do that. But I am really tired. Just more of that word vomit. It's like almost like I don't have control over what's coming out of my mouth once I get to a certain point. Anyhow, I'm very happy that my daughter is cooking supper for me tonight, because I just don't know. We might have ended up with a bowl of cereal if it was up to me. So we're just about done with getting little Bunny's little ears filled in, and then we'll come back in with the pink in a minute and get him all looking cute. Last year I did some Easter Bunny t-shirts with the bunnies wearing eyeglasses. I thought that was real cute, so we might even do something like that with him. How about we give Bunny like some blue-green eyes? I've got a fuzzy hanging off of me. I think that'll be another little pretty little pop of pastel color there. Say that fast 3 times. Alright, let's get these little eyes filled in. See what I mean? I wanted to just go ahead and kind of give it the colors and everything I wanted, because I was afraid my goofy self would have it all jacked up otherwise. And I think I just heard her say that supper's about done, so I'm gonna hopefully wrap this up pretty quick, and then I'll come back later and finish up Mr. Leprechaun. Hopefully I can do this without dragging my sleeve through the paint. That would be bad. Last night after I finished painting the hat and everything, I looked and I had paint on my shirt that I didn't even realize was there until I went back down and started getting ready for bed, and I had paint all over me. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this and give Bunny a little pink nose, and then do the centers of his ears pink too. So pick that little pan up. I hope you can see this pretty well. That pink is darker than I realized, but I kind of like it. I definitely don't hate it. One time, my daughter is like the animal whisperer, and one time when she was little, this is a sad story kind of, but they were bush hogging a field near where we live, and apparently the bush hog got a nest of baby rabbits and mama rabbit too, and there was one little baby left, and I felt so sorry for it. I was just sure it was going to die that first night, but my daughter brought it home with her, and she raised it with a bottle, and I think like cat formula or something like that. So she is amazing with animals. Not only is she a good cook, she's the animal whisperer. But I'm hoping this pink is going to show up on this purple. Can you see that? Do you think it's doing good? I hope. We might have to go back over it with a second coat if not, but hopefully that's going to get it. I want it to be pastel-y but kind of bright at the same time, if that makes sense. Easter's gonna be here before we know it, y'all. This year has just flown by so far, and y'all, after that train wreck of a year that was 2021, I'm glad to be on into 2020, sorry. I'm glad to be moving on through 2021 and looking forward to better things ahead. But you know, even when things are stressful or I'm tired, I still just love doing little projects like this. They're just good for you. Okay, so now all that's left is to just take a little bit of the black and come in and just do some, well, I also have to do his, first I'll do his whiskers and his mouth in the black, and then I'm going to just give his eyes a little bit of some contrast just to make them pop a little bit. I need a little bitty brush for this, I guess, because that's kind of a fine line. Usually I would do something like this with a paint pen, but when I went to look at my paint pens, sadly they are all dried out. It's been a while since I've done a project with them, so I'm going to have to do all this with a brush, and hopefully it'll turn out okay anyway. But paint pens are wonderful. When we did the Scarecrow Snowman a few years back, I did all the faces for them with paint pens. Because it's just so much simpler than having to drag out a brush and all that good stuff. But this little brush is so fine. It's not that hard either, but I just hope I don't make a big bobble. A little bobble is okay. If y'all have been watching me for a while, you know that perfection is never my aim, because is there really any such thing? And I also think that the little flaws are what give projects some character. So, you know, perfection is not what I'm after, but I don't want it to look like a hot mess either. So, we're just gonna paint that little whisker. We're getting there. What you think? And then one more. Alright, and now we'll just go in and kind of give the eye a little bit of some detail. Just still not sure about glasses. I would love to do it, but at the same time, I'm a little bit, you know, we've gotten this far. I don't know if I want to take a chance on messing it up. I don't know. We'll see. I think after I finish this, I'm gonna put in some time tonight trying to do a little bit more research on the SVG files, and because I really am wanting to offer more of those for y'all, because you know, they just really come in handy if you've got a Cricut. Although I will say I do love hand painting stuff too, so I don't know. Okay, glasses or no? You know, I think I'm just gonna leave him like this for now and think about it. I am, however, gonna do just a little bit of white in his eye, but while that dries a little better so that I can, I'm gonna go back over this ear a little bit with some more pink. I wish I had my heat gun over here so I could just zap it just a little bit and dry those eyes out right now, but okay, so I think they're probably dry enough to give it just a little bit of a reflection or whatever, just to make it look a little more, just to give it some detail. Okay. And let's see. All right. And that's it for Bunny's face, unless we decide to come back in and give him some eyelashes or maybe even some glasses. He's done. What you think? And I'll be back in just a few minutes to paint Leprechaun's face. Okay, for the Leprechaun's eyes, I decided to use this spring green. I don't know if you can really tell much about it in that light. I've got to get my lighting right. That's another thing that my children wanted to critique when they watched part of my video last night. They said the lighting was really bad, and I apologize for that. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better at doing these videos. Hopefully I'll get there soon. For his beard, I didn't have really the shade that I wanted, and I think a leprechaun always ought to be a redhead. So this color is called Pueblo. Excuse me, I can't talk. It's by Folk Art. Pueblo, and then this I mixed with the Apple Barrel Real Red to get the shade that I wanted for his beard. But I want to start off first with his eyes and get them right. I have not outlined like I did for the bunny, so we're just flying by the seat of our pants now. We'll see how it goes. But let's just do him some eyes here. And I apologize. I know I'm working upside down for you right now, but I'll turn it around in a second so you can see better once I get it going, since I didn't get anything outlined or anything like that before I started. And I think maybe let's see, let's do that eye green, and then let's let him be winking at us. I think that's cute for a leprechaun. He ought to be kind of sassy and maybe have a wink going on. So get that eyelid. I'm trying to make it thick enough that it'll really show up, and then we'll give him some lashes. Boys can have lashes too. My brother actually has better eyelashes than I have, and he's a real manly man, but he's still got those long pretty lashes. And the good metabolism. And the nice olive complexion. But hey, it's just part of the genetics lottery, Let's see. And again, I'm going around this eye just to try to make it a little more, just to make it pop a little more. And I think with the black, we're going to be able to go ahead and fill in a big pupil for him, and then we'll come back in with the white in a few minutes once that has a chance to dry just a little bit. Just a friendly leprechaun. Yeah, I don't need to try that. That's bad. I recently discovered that I have some Irish in my ancestry. When I did my ancestry DNA, it showed up that I had mostly English, but there was well, not really mostly, like the highest percentage was English, but then the next highest was Scots Irish. So that was something cool that I didn't really know. That would explain my paleness, I guess. Although I didn't get the red hair, but I love red hair. And his nose is not great, but it's, it'll do. And we might try to even go in and put a shamrock in his hat, but I may have to come back in and do that after we finish this part of the painting, because I'm not real sure how to do a shamrock. We'll just paint his mouth. The thing is, with these rough wood boards, sometimes there's a hole or a blemish somewhere like right there, and we're just going with it. We're just painting around it. It is what it is with rough boards. And I think in the end it really only adds to the character of the piece, really. If I had thought about it, it might have been a good idea to maybe sand it a little bit. I really gave my sander a rough workout last spring though, and I could use another one, to be honest. I've about worn it out. I have a real hard time being gentle with the tools, and especially with the sander, I tend to bear down way more than I ought to. So let's go ahead. I'm going to turn him a little bit so you can see him better, and then we're going to start on the beard. Get all this paint out of the way. I'm also wanting to get a bigger, can you see his face now a little bit? I'm wanting to get like a bigger work table up here. It's fine for most things, but when I've got paint to set around or anything like that, it does get a little bit tight up here. So I'm just gonna dive in and just start splotching around for his beard. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna do something. And sometimes that's what you got to do on a project. Just play around with it till it looks like you want it to. I'm using just a lot of paint, and we're gonna make this good looking red-headed fella look good, I hope. Thank y'all for being patient with me. I know this has been kind of a long video, but it's taken me quite a good while to get it together, so I appreciate your patience and sticking in there with me till the end, because we're almost there, I promise. We're just going to keep filling in until we get that beard looking about right. I don't want it too even up here at the top, because I don't want it like in a defined line. I want it to look more like just a scruffy beard. There's just something about a bearded man. Although I tell my hubby that he looks younger without a beard, and it's true, but he's cute either way. Alright, we're getting there. Just gonna keep dabbing a little bit in here and there. And I might have to come in with just a slightly different color just for some contrast. I'm not sure, but we'll have to wait till he dries to really see if that's going to be necessary or not. How about we put him a little bit of hair sticking out from under his hat too, just a little bit. And I think he also needs some eyelashes on that other eye. That's going to look pretty funny if he's only got eyelashes on one eye. He'll be looking about like I did that time that I singed mine off with the grill. I'll lit with both of them. What I did do one time, though, I shouldn't tell this. There's a lot of things I ought not tell. What I did do, though, one time that just ended up being one eyebrow, my husband had these little things, and I thought that it was, wait, that was eyebrows, not eyelashes. Still. Pretty funny story. I thought that I had seen him trim his eyebrows with this thing that he had in the bathroom, and so one day I thought, well, I'm going to try that too. And so I pick it up, and one pass and half my eyebrow is gone. And I was about to cry. I was panicked, and then it hit me that it was just funny, and I was laughing, but I'm still wondering what in the world happened, because it worked for him so perfectly. And so I go in the living room where he is, and I said, look what happened to me. How do you make that work? And he said, what did you use? And I told him that it was that little thing laying on the bathroom counter that I had seen him trim his eyebrows with. And he just started shaking his head and laughing. He said, baby, that was not eyebrow trimmers. You saw me use the clippers to do that, and you had my nose hair getters and got the nose hair things hold of your eyebrow, and that was really bad. Like I said, I shouldn't tell everything, but sometimes I tell too much. But anyway, there's our Mr. Leprechaun. And I probably am going to come in with some kind of contrasting color later, but I'm going to post pictures of what the leprechaun and the bunny. Oh, I forgot to show you what I did to Bunny. I didn't want to do it on camera because I wasn't sure, but I did do him some glasses. I just took the top of my little cup where I'm keeping my brushes and traced that to make his glasses. So I think he's really cute. But there's our pretty much finished. I may embellish it a little bit, but there's our pretty much finished leprechaun and bunny reversible project. And like I said, I'll be posting some better pics later once everything's dried and I've had a chance to see if it needs some embellishment. But once again, thank y'all for hanging in here with me. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and hit like. That would be a tremendous help. And hop on over to mochskinthemaking.com and read the blog post about this too for some more details. Thank y'all so much, and I'll see you next time with a new project. Bye.